I had a story about a boy who couldn't walk, but he could only run. 2-3 years after his birth, the mom figured out that the boy couldn't walk. So they had to go see a pediatrician, and after a series of questions that this doctor was actually asked the parent, the doctor realized that the mother has actually never helped this boy walk before, not in any way, not once, not a single attempt. So he asked the mother, saying, how then did you know that the boy can't walk? How can you be so certain he can walk? And sometimes we're just like the mother in this case, right? Never helping to try, and we're already on the conclusion part saying the boy can't walk. Well, funny happy ending. The boy today is an athlete who runs. That's why I said the boy who can walk but can run, because he walks. He could walk. He is walking. Of course, he's running. Now, you never would achieve something if you don't start. That's the first point. Start. You want to be a dancer? Well, dance. Dancers dance. You want to be a singer? Well, sing. Singers sing. Drummers drum. Designers design, and illustrators illustrate. Hi guys, you're welcome to today's episode on the Design Illustration Podcast with Ufot Ubon. I'm Ubon, I'm your host. And today we're going to be talking about start simple and share. If you want to be an illustrator, well, you just have to illustrate. If you want to be a designer, you have to design, right? Irrespective of what you're wanting to do. Maybe you want to start a podcast, you're wanting to open a YouTube channel, you wanted to launch a design platform, whatever it is, a design page, whatever it is you want to do, you just have to start. Everything is hard. Every skill is hard. Skill setting are hard, right? Coding is hard. Writing is hard. Barbing is hard. Tailoring is hard. Designing is hard. Illustration is equally hard, right? Designing and illustrating is actually hard as well. I really would not stand to say it's more easy to illustrate than it is to design. Neither will I say it's more easy to design than it is to code, to write codes. Every skill is hard. Every craft, they're all hard in themselves, right? But in the practical world, when you actually start the learning process, then we get better at the craft, right? So, first point, start. You really wouldn't know how to walk if you don't start trying. You just have to start. In fact, having to deny the fact that a particular craft or a particular skill is hard, that will actually not make that craft or that skill, any better. It's not just going to make it better. Denying the fact that it's hard wouldn't make it less hard. It's actually going to still be hard. So, embrace the laborious training and effort you're putting into it, and just start it. There's a very popular quote I like by Paul Rand. He says, design is so simple, that's why it's so complicated. It truly is. So start. And the second point we'll be talking about is simple. Start simple. Utilize the old even as we upgrade the new. You see, a lot of designers and illustrators, they want the new tools, right? And there's really nothing bad in getting the latest iPads, latest, MacBook Pros, latest PCs, whatever tools you really, eyeing or looking out there. There's nothing bad wanting these tools. There's nothing really bad, or let's not gluttony on the other side. Well, but having the best tools to work with is actually not a bad thing. But start simple as well. You see, The tools you do not have does not take away from the tools which you do have. And what tools do you have? You may want to ask. Well, there's pencil, there's papers, and there's crayons, colors, right? Start simple. Start, yes, but start simple. You don't have to have the best of all tools before you have to start something. You don't have to have everything all drafted out completely and perfect before you actually start simple. You may not have, listen, the tools doesn't get the work done. We have to understand that. So should we get the tools, should you get the tools? When I got my tools, I actually had to also learn how to use the tools. So it's one thing to get the tool, it's a different thing to actually create time to learn how to use these tools. Getting the best of all iPads wouldn't automatically give you the ability to draw. Getting the best Mac or the best PCs wouldn't automatically give you the ability to design. So start simple, right? Start practicing. If you want to illustrate, how to draw, use a pen, use a paper, utilize the old even as we upgrade to the new. And the last thing we're talking about is share. Start simple and share. Share your work. Social media is there. Instagram, Twitter, whatever platform. You just share your work. Share your work everywhere. Share your work everywhere. Share it to the whole world. The world is at your back and call, rooting for you. They want to see what is your making, what's your creation, what's in that beautiful mind of yours. What can you picture out? What are you drawing? How are you blending these colors? The whole world is out there rooting for you, wanting to see what you have. Share it. Share your work. Join a community. I remember when I started digital illustration officially, I joined this community on Twitter. It was the hashtag We Are Nigerian Creative. I think it was run by Olaluye Bumi. I think so. I think that's him. Artnet's brother also. Yeah, he was like the alpha in charge of that community. The hashtag We Are Nigerian Creative, and a lot of illustrators and designers also use the hashtag to share their works, and there we connected and a lot of things happened and growth came up, right? There were feedbacks. People would say, okay, yeah, this is nice, okay, this is nice, okay, change the color, do this. So sharing your work, utilize social media to your own advantage. Join a community and reach out to creative professionals as well to show you to like that. When I started, I had shout out to Wash Draw. Yes, Joshua. I really troubled him a lot in his DM then on Instagram, and he showed me a lot of things. He told me about Krita. He told me about a lot of softwares that you can use to draw, and how he does his illustrations. He really put me through. I wasn't just this island guy who just came out and just boom launched himself and knew how to. No. I had help. Reach out to professionals, reach out to creatives, reach out to people, and be intentional about what you're learning. I like to tell people this: it's passive passion over passive income first, at least for the starting point. So start simple and share your work. Just start it already. Use your simple tools, right? Utilize the old as we upgrade the new. Start simple, use your simple tools, and share your work. Alright guys, thank you very much for tuning into this episode. That'll be all for now until we'll meet again on our next episode. Keep practicing. Finally, brethren, design plus illustration equals designstration.